It's time to tackle a question that's been dividing homes since the dawn of time: Apple versus Android. Here at Privacy Guides, our official recommendation for a phone is the Google Pixel, ideally running Graphene OS, but we'll discuss that more in the last video. We recommend against third-party Androids like Samsung, OnePlus, or Huawei. There are several reasons for this, in no particular order. Pixel phones have the strongest hardware security of any Android device currently on the market. Modern Pixel phones currently receive a minimum of 7 years of support, which is much longer than most other devices that average 2 to 5. Pixel phones get updates faster than other Android devices. All other Android devices, by default, share data with Google, even if they're not a Pixel. So by using a Pixel, you're minimizing the number of third parties receiving your data. Let's start at the top. The quickest and easiest way for most people to make massive improvements to their phone is simply to remove apps. Most of us have apps that we haven't used in a long time, or that we needed once and haven't used since then, or sometimes we can just use a website instead of an app. Apps present two main risks to your privacy and security. On the security front, every app is a potential data breach or a vulnerability waiting to happen. Every app you have an account with could potentially get caught up in a data breach someday. Even just having the app on your phone could potentially introduce a new way to get hacked. On the privacy front, most apps submit all kinds of data back to not just the app developers, but usually third parties and advertisers. This could include location data, contact information, or sometimes even more sensitive data within the app. Think, for example, what data your health apps might have stored in them. The single, quickest, and easiest way you can make huge privacy gains on your phone is to simply sit down, look through all the apps you have installed, and ask yourself, how badly do I really need this app? If you rarely use the app, delete it. If you can use a website instead of the app, delete it. This alone is a huge step, and it might have other peripheral benefits, like you might save money by adding friction to your online shopping, or you might have better mental health from not doom scrolling all the time. Another often overlooked way you can improve your phone's safety is simply to remove the data that's stored on it. Think about all the photos in your camera roll that you just wanted to share for a moment, or contacts that you've honestly lost touch with and don't talk to anymore. This is probably not as important as removing unused apps, but since you're already cleaning up your phone, you may as well take some time to go through and clean out the content as well. So go through your phone and remove any old photos, contacts, files, and really just anything that you don't need or regularly use. Finally, you'd be surprised how much privacy and security you can regain simply by going through your phone and changing some of the settings. There's a lot of settings that can be adjusted for maximum privacy and security, but for the sake of time, we're just going to highlight a few of the top ones. Please note that your settings may be slightly different if you're not using a Google Pixel, or depending on which version of the Pixel you have. You should delete your advertising ID by going to Google Services, All Services, Ads, Delete Advertising ID. If you're using a Google account, you can also enable Advanced Protection. This will make your account harder to hack, but it also makes some of the advice in our later videos impossible, like using third-party app stores. It also requires you to buy at least 2 hardware security keys, which can be expensive. Under Network and Internet, and Carrier settings, we recommend disabling 2G network connections unless you live in a country that doesn't widely support 3G or better. We recommend disabling Bluetooth whenever you're not using it, since Bluetooth is often used to track phones in places like stores. You should ensure that you're using at bare minimum a 6-digit PIN. A strong password or passphrase is the best idea. Face unlock combined with a strong password can be a really good compromise between security and convenience. But be aware that things like face unlock have been bypassed in the past by bad actors to get unauthorized access to someone's phone. We recommend enabling theft detection lock to ensure that nobody can simply snatch your phone out of your hands, as well as offline device lock, which will lock your phone if it's offline for too long. That's one of the ways that thieves will attempt to prevent you from remotely tracking the phone after they've stolen it, is keeping it offline. Finally, for the apps that you did decide to keep on your phone, be sure to go to Security and Privacy, Privacy Controls, Permission Manager, and carefully check each app's permissions. Revoke any permissions you think the app doesn't need access to. For example, why would your calendar app need access to your microphone? Things like that. I just want to remind viewers that this video is a snapshot in time. Some of this stuff may have been updated or changed if you're watching it in the future, so be sure to check privacyguides.org for the latest recommended settings changes on your phone. There's still a lot more you can do to make your phone more private and secure, but honestly, if you only do this stuff in this video, you've already made dramatic improvements that put you miles ahead of most people. Make some time in your schedule to go ahead and clean out your phone and change the settings, and when you're ready to take the next steps, we'll see you in the next video.